everyone, it's Sarah here and welcome. It feels like it's been forever since I got to talk to you in person, face to face, and I'm excited about this live stream because I want to share with you a couple of things that were inspired by me observing what's going on in this coaching industry, consulting industries, expert service providing industry, and it shattered my heart. And I was thinking about how to approach it, and I was sitting on this topic for quite a while and making notes and figuring out, should I write it as a post, should I do a live stream, what would be the best way to introduce you to not just the issues, the symptoms, but especially to empower you and to give you the tips and the steps so you can um, keep on thriving. So the space that I'm coming from is solely serving and empowering and inspiring you at this moment, because I feel the energy, collective energy right now here is so heavy. Is it needs some upbeat, it needs some happiness, it needs some lightness, it needs some more passion and purpose and fulfillment, because that at the end of the day is exactly what keeps us driving, in terms of being entrepreneurs, in terms of being service providers, to serve our clients, to help our clients serve their clients. It allows us to show us in fully being who we truly are for those around us, for those who we care for the most. So with no further ado, I will dive right in. I'm going to share with you a personal story. Then I will um, illustrate to you how this personal story um, connects and translates into your business. If you find yourself in it, then you will walk away from this video with very tangible, actionable steps and tips so that you can turn this feeling of sadness and tightness and emptiness, if you will, even being pissed off at times, into a joy and excitement and fulfillment and ease and grace. And yeah, I can't wait to see what we co-create. So before I get started with your business, I want to share a personal story that again has been on my mind for a while now, and I just wasn't sure if would be appropriate to share, how to share it. But it's pretty interesting actually. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah Oblak Spiker, and I came to the States over 14 years ago to play basketball. In Europe at the time, especially in my home country, I was already an established basketball player, one of the top in the country, captain of our national team, and you name it, pretty much we have created it. And I remember how I was driving my coaches crazy, that even though I was a top player, I had this tendency of being extremely selfless. I first and foremost never had this feeling or awareness of how good I really was. And that was part of the cultural imprinting, right? You don't boast around, you don't toot your own horn, you try to be humble and small. And that can take a toll sometimes, especially when teammates around you depend on you and they require you to step up to own your power. So I had this interesting tendency that whenever my teammates passed me a ball, and even though I was all by myself under the hoop, I would look around and my first reaction was like, okay, where's an open teammate that I can pass her a ball, as opposed to what can I do to score? Interestingly enough, at the end of every game, my first thought was, oh my gosh, how many points did I score? What was my statistics? I was looking for that external validation that I know a lot of times when you are this driven, fiercely independent entrepreneur, business owner, leader, um, somebody who has incredible drive and is highly intelligent, there is this need, intellectual need for the external validation. You are looking for your worth in the results that you create, whether it's scoreboard or a scale or numbers in your bank account. And it can be freaking exhausting. And I was the same way. And funny enough, even though basketball to me was some of the most natural things that I got to do, I really got to enjoy it. There were, of course, ups and downs. We all go through ups and downs. Um, but everything changed when I was recruited to play NCAA Division I basketball in New York. And the first few practices went by, and I was this shy, timid player who did not really speak up on the court, who just, you know, was trying to have fun, was trying to be nice, and my coach wouldn't have any of it. Because she saw something in me that I was not able to see in myself. And that was the bigger vision for what was possible for me. It was not just being a team captain of a national team at home, it was a leader of a new team on a whole different level. And as a freshman, I had this notion that I have to earn my stripes. And I thought the stripes are earned through hard work and putting in the time, and that maybe by my senior year, I would kind of get there. Well, my coach kind of had different idea. So she demanded that before every practice, I stood in front of my teammates and with a very serious face, say it like I mean it. Um, it makes me laugh every single time. But I had to stand there and I was petrified looking at my teammates' faces, not quite knowing what to expect, even though I knew they had my back, but it was still, putting me on a spot. But what my coach demanded of me to do was to shift from that external and internalize it. And one of the ways was for me to be there, look them straight in the eyes, and say, "My name is Sarah Oblak, and I am a freaking scoring machine." And if she didn't believe the tone of the voice, I had to do it again and again and again, day in, day out, week after week, month after month, until I became what I was saying. I became my own thoughts. And this is such a powerful reminder that no matter where you are, no matter what you do, no matter what is that you're going through, your reality is being created by your thoughts. And you have the power to control those thoughts. Now, how does that reflect in your business? Well, if believing in myself was able to help me not only become one of the best players and record-breaking players as my freshman year, but lead my team to a regular season title my junior year and conference championship my senior year as a captain, anything is possible for you. So at this moment, I want to invite you to slow down, take a pen, take a paper, shut everything off if needed, and really focus on where you are right now in your life and where you are in your business. And I want you to be brutally honest with yourself because this is the key. How do you feel when you look at your business, when you look at the numbers on your bank account, when you look at your client's roster, when you look on your vision board? What feelings come up? Do you feel that you're showing up because you feel free, because you feel inspired, because you really are enjoying every moment of what you get to do, what you get to experience? Or does it feel like an obligation? Does it feel that it has to be super hard and super serious in order for you to get paid? That you have to impress people, that you have to earn their respect, that you have to prove your worth? No matter if your bank account has 4 zeros, 5 zeros, 6 zeros, 7 zeros, I don't care how many zeros there are on your bank account, there is something that all of us are dealing with that is preventing us from really seeing the big picture and stepping into that picture. And that is ego. And that is fear. And those are triggers. And a lot of triggers do come, like I mentioned earlier, from the programming that we received. And we have the tendency to repeat the patterns, be stuck in those patterns. Maybe they're generational patterns. If you look around, are you repeating pretty much the same life story that your mom experienced, that she was passed on from her grandma, great grandma? Um, are you reliving in, are you being stuck in some cultural patterns of what are you allowed to say? How are you allowed to feel and express yourself? Are you expected to behave in a certain way, but your whole being is screaming to do something else? Another question I want to ask yourself as a business owner, when you look at the direction that your business is going to, do you feel that you are attached to how exactly you are going to reach your goals? That you don't have the capacity to simply envision the goal and then show up inspired, but you are super attached of how people are supposed to show up, what projects are supposed to come in, how are you going to deliver your projects, and you're so consumed with the nitty gritty and nuances of those trenches that you don't have the mind space to see the big picture, to make sure you even are going to the right direction. When you think about the goals and desires and the lifestyle that you would love to create and enjoy, do you feel that you even deserve it? Or is that the notion that you have to work super hard, that you can't possibly have fun and enjoy all of it, that it has to be difficult, it has to feel like a grind because now you're super serious business here? Or even worse, do you feel and are you experiencing that as you are building your empire on the business end, your personal life is falling apart? There are so many women in my circles that I have witnessed over the years when on paper, they seemingly have it all, but their marriages are falling apart, connections with their kids are breaking, their health is on life support, their reputation is going down the drain because they're not fully there. They're not operating from their zone of genius. Their clients are not getting the results they expect, and it's just a downward spiral. And I'm seeing more and more experts, amazing, brilliant women shutting down their businesses because they just can't figure it out. They just don't have the power to do it anymore. To keep pretending, to keep putting on the face of strength and resilience and the fake smile while everything is starting to crumble, right? It's not worthy. So if you feel that way, I promise you there is a better way, there is a solution. It doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be that difficult. It doesn't have to be so alone and lonely. And for some reason we're having connection issues, so let's see where we're going here. Okay, so I wonder what this is going. Some notification keeps popping up here. So let me just check, just a moment. Let me check to make sure we're still live. I wish I knew what happened here. Just a second. Gotta love technology. It really allows us to bring us close together, but then technical glitches, totally out of our control. So where are we here? I'm just checking my phone to see what is being broadcasted here. Okay, it looks like we are still live. Okay, so I'll keep going. Okay, all good. Now, when you, like I promised, what are some of the things that you can do in order to get out of the cycle, in order to turn all those heavy feelings into lighter ones, in order to create a business and a lifestyle that you truly desire, in order to collapse your annual revenues into 1 month, into one sale? Because imagine when you're scaling at this level, the free time that you now have, the energy that you now have to spend with your family, to go places, right? To play at a whole new level. What can you do? So first thing, just like the example I shared with you earlier, the need to take all the external stuff and internalize it. You have to find a way to do that for yourself. own not just your brilliance, but own your voice, and figure out a way to tap into your zone of genius and realize that this is the only lane, this is the only space for you to be at. Nothing else matters. Because when you are in the zone of genius, you are able to create that business that is congruent, that is simple, that is easy, that is impactful and freaking powerful. And it gives you a platform to support and serve your clients at the highest level, at providing the highest value. When you have that first step, everything else is going to start falling into place because it starts within. And another thing that starts within is that emotional maturity. When you're no longer distracted by what you're supposed to be doing, what somebody else is expecting of you to do, but you know that in order to get to where you want to be, when you feel you could be, you take responsibility for your actions. And what that means is that you stop being the victim of circumstance. I know it's a harsh thing to admit that you're a victim of circumstance, especially when you are doing so much. You are probably one of the hardest working people that you know. But when you're truly honest with yourself, when you truly look around, how do you talk to yourself? Do you feel that you're operating in the energy of lack, the energy of I can't, or I don't have the time, or the scarcity? You know, what if I really show my true colors? What's going to happen? Are clients going to leave me? Can I really slow down here in order to accelerate there? Can I really voice my own opinion? Can I really ask for 25,000 or 50,000 or $100,000 on a sales call? Can I really expect to be paid in full? What if I offend somebody? Can I really turn this prospect no because I kind of feel we're not a good match, but I'm afraid what's going to happen if I turn down that money, right? And then with that, taking responsibility for your action, here's another interesting thing. Knowing that you are super intelligent, you also know where your limits are, and you have surrounded yourself with a team of experts. You're probably supported by some of the top coaches and consultants. But now the question is, are you doing this just for the show and to kind of prove to yourself that, hey, I am busy, I'm investing, I'm entitled to creating certain results? Or are you internalizing all of that, and instead of fear of missing out, you truly act from this space of empowerment? I am freaking powerhouse here, and I'm having fun, and I am enjoying this, and it is easy because I want it to be, because I decided to be, right? And the universe, I know, conspires and is bending and rearranging itself because why not, right? Because I am worthy. Two completely different energies. And speaking of being supported, another thing that is also very important for you to understand is, even though you have a support team who is guiding you in a certain way, if it doesn't feel right for you, you have to be strong enough to say, time out, let's find a different way. This doesn't feel right. Let's explore. Let's dig deeper. Let's figure out what else or how else we could do this. That takes maturity. So, to kind of bring it all together, what I'd like to invite you to is to really elevate not just your mindset into a whole new level of consciousness and being. Your whole energy and vibration is going to increase, is going to change. But also, I would love for you to start noticing how you have the power to trust your gut, to trust your instincts, to trust your spirits, so that when you know the truth, you're able to elevate yourself above the stories, above the excuses, above the fears and egos. And you can stay in your lane, and you can guide people, and you can bring up and pull up your people that you see are still stuck in their own stories and convictions and fears and are being triggered left and right and are trying to convince you why they can't afford working with you, why it's not the right time to work with you, but they want it so much, right? And when they're talking about, well, one day when, you can see right through them. You can see right through their barriers. You can see right through the gaps and leaks that are holding them back, not just from getting to the ground zero, but to really get to the level that they need to be and want to be and could be. Because you see in them what that coach saw in me, and then some. But you can only realize that, first and foremost, when you love and trust yourself, when you are enjoying what you're doing, when you're showing up in the energy of freedom, not obligation, when you know you are worthy, when you know you deserve to receive that support, and when you go after it, when nothing is stopping you, when it becomes non-negotiable, and you don't take any hostages. Do that and see what happens.